All right, get on the record the matter of Gregory Martin, case 24 PR 00777, time and place set for a status check, which was apparently requested by the petitioner's attorney in this case, Ms. Bungie. I may be saying that wrong. But I'll have the parties introduce themselves for the record, starting with the petitioner's attorney.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Megan Salisbury. My associate is Samantha Bungie, the one that signed the status conference request letter. And then my client is also present.
Okay, and your client is?
Petitioner.
I'm sorry, I talked over you. Go ahead.
Gazelle Fuller, petitioner.
Okay, good afternoon. Mr. Waleed, can you put your appearance on the record, sir?
This is Roster K. Waleed. This is the respondent, Gregory John Martin, senior son from Montana.
Okay, Mr. Waleed, good afternoon. And I believe I have Mr. Rudolph with me.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. This is Nathan Rudolph, court-appointed attorney for respondent Gregory Martin.
Okay. Is there anybody else on the line with me for the Gregory Martin case? All right. Little unusual here, but I guess I'll set the stage so we're all on the same page. I've reviewed a rather lengthy history in a case that appears to be fairly new. And there is, I see, a hearing set August 27th, I believe. August 27th at 9 a.m. regarding various parties' objections to petitioner's request for permanent guardianship and conservatorship. That said, a letter was filed requesting a status check today by petitioner's attorney, and so that's why we are here. So I'll start with you, Ms. Salisbury. What's going on, and how can the court help?
Thank you, Your Honor. I have three things I'd like to talk to the court about. First, which I think was outlined in that letter, is there has been a substantial amount of pleadings filed by Mr. Waleed in this matter, and it's costing the respondent a significant amount of money for us to have to file specified objections to each of the numerous, sometimes duplicative, motions, petitions, all these things that he's filing. So we're looking for some direction from the court about whether or not the objection we have now filed can be a standing objection to any further filings. If the court would not agree with that, if we could ask that it would be approved that we could do a generalized objection, saying that we object to whatever issue is being filed, or if the court would like us to continue to do a specified objection to each of the sometimes repetitive items that he's already brought up in his multiple filings.
Okay, Mr. Waleed, what they're telling me is that you made a number of filings here, and a number of your filings seem to be duplicative in nature. And first, you're asking me to make it order that you can't file any more motions. I'm not inclined to do that. I mean, you're free to file what you think is appropriate. Though what I can say, Mr. Waleed, is, and this goes for any case filed in the courthouse, any case is subject to, at the end of a case, depending upon the outcome, one side, usually the winner, requests the loser in the case to pay the other side's attorney's fees. And one thing that the court is going to consider is how people conducted themselves during the course of the litigation, and the various motions and pleadings, etc., that they were filed, and how reasonable they were. So I'm not making any comment about that in this particular case. I'm just speaking generally. That's the risk that people run when we're in litigation, is just making sure that what they're filing, is reasonable. So that said, I'm not going to create an order that says you can't file anything further. However, what's your position on what they have told me so far?
Your Honor, my father disappeared for a while, and he was in the of several different lady friends' power of attorney. When this case was filed for an emergency petition for guardianship, I was not included in the people that were supposed to be contacted as far as ORS 125.060. I am my father's durable power of attorney. I live in Montana, and my durable power of attorney kicked in when he became incapacitated. In December of 2023, I contacted the Adult Protective Services about my father's condition. They had all my information, and then they stopped contacting me, and then contacted Oregon Advocates LLC, bypassing my father's nomination for me being his durable power, etc. I was not contacted as far as the entitled persons. Neither were 6 of my other brothers and sisters who were supposed to be contacted regarding this particular petition. There were things that were moved forward without the right statutory requirements as far as notification, as well as how notification was supposed to be delivered to us.
Okay, well, Mr. Waleed, I'm going to have you pause right there. This isn't the day for the trial. What you're telling me are issues that are in dispute. You have a dispute with the other side, and we're going to sort that out at the end of August here at the hearing. What I'm trying to do is just sort of smooth out the water, so to speak, so that everybody can be appropriately prepared for that hearing, and we can come to some resolution that day, which I think is a good thing for everybody in this case. And so I guess I'll hear from Mr. Rudolph. What's your position? I guess, what do you have to add to what we're doing today?
Your Honor, this is Nathan Rudolph. I don't really have anything to add. I can state for the record that I did receive a packet today of at least some of the filings from Mr. Waleed, and I'm in the process of reviewing those. I haven't been able to fully review any of those yet. That was the first notice that I've received of any of these filings. I can see on the docket there's been a lot, but as it relates to what petitioner's attorney is requesting, I don't have anything specific to report on my client's position on that.
Okay, well, I'm going to draft an order today that says generalized to the extent that any further motions are filed by any party, generalized objections are fine, Ms. Salisbury, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. And then I have 2 more items, if you don't mind. I'm just indulging for just a few more minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
One, I have a request that came over from Megan Huffman, who is part of Adult Protective Services. For the hearing on the 27th, she has now asked to appear telephonically. I've spoken with Mr. Rudolph, just saying that I was going to ask about that today. So I'm looking to see if maybe the court would agree for her to appear telephonically on the 27th.
And can you remind me what her connection to the case is?
Yes, she's the Adult Protective Services worker that's been involved this whole time.
Okay, why does she need to appear by phone?
Her reasoning to me was that she has a heavy caseload, and so she'd prefer to be able to be working and then come on when she needs to be at the hearing versus kind of spending a whole day and not being able to do additional work on other adult protective cases.
All right, Mr. Waleed, what's your position on that? They're asking for one of their the general rule is everybody needs to be here in person for the trial coming up at the end of August, sir. So you're going to need to be here from Montana. You understand that, right?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. And
all right. So they're asking if this adult protective services worker can appear by phone. Do you agree with that, or do you object to it?
I object to that, Your Honor, if I can state my reason.
Yeah, go ahead.
My reason is on December, before any of this case was ever started, I reported to the Adult Protective Services when my father showed up in the hospital at Great Samaritan Hospital in December of 2023. I reported all of this information to Megan Huffman, and since that point, she has deliberately kept me out of all of the communications since that particular point. She has the intake report that we would like to subpoena, or at least to be able to have present. Ever since this point of December 13th, as my father's personal representative, I've been left out, and Montana hasn't been contacted, but there's been friends and associates that have. I believe her being at the hearing is important because it is the key to the whole case.
Okay,
of the
Mr. Willie, thank you, sir. I understand your objection that you want her to be here in person. I do agree that she needs to be here in person. Ms. Salisbury, I'm certainly empathetic with the realities of the caseloads of adult protective services workers, similar to police officers who are waiting, most of the day for trials, and but that's just part of the realities of that position. So she does need to be here in person. All right. Ms. Salisbury, you had another request today?
The last request is my clients received filings, copies of Mr. Waleed's filings at their personal residences, and they would like me to ask the court to limit his contact with them to their work address, which is publicized on all of our filings and everywhere else. So they would like that to be limited to just their work addresses and not any other address.
You're referring to Ms. Fuller and Ms. Fossback, right?
Yes.
All right. So, Mr. Waleed, first, I didn't address this issue, but I noticed in the letter requesting the hearing today by petitioner's attorney, they indicate to me concern that you're filing things with the court, but you're not sending them copies. Anything you file with the court, sir, you need to provide them a copy. You need to mail them a copy, okay? And email them a copy so they can get it even quicker. If you don't do that, you run the risk of there being problems and you being able to present information in court. So anything you file with the court, you got to send to them, number one. Number two, when you do send it to them, I am going to make an order that you need to send it to their work address, not their personal address, okay? So do you have their work addresses, Mr. Waleed?
Honor, yes, I believe I do. I have over 30 people that are supposed to have this information, including my brothers and sisters, my father's brothers and sisters-in-law, those who were never contacted. So they all have received everything that's up to date, actually, of yesterday. All 30 of them, I have the documentation that it was not only mailed, but the U.S. Postal Service also verified that it was sent, and I have the record of that. The issue is I have not been I have not received from the lawyers or the other third parties, Giselle, any of the information. And when I did get something in the mail, it was sent after the time to object to it. And I have been in touch with probate department, who is aware of this. It's on record that I have not received the initial filings, et cetera, et cetera. So there is misinformation coming out, but I will adhere to the courts what you just told me. As far as any personal things are concerned, I just found the addresses that show that's where they were. Okay. I have not sent anything other than this one time. So I will make sure that won't happen again, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Waleed. I appreciate that. And so what I'm referring to is from here forward, with respect to Ms. Fuller and Ms. Fossback. I realize there are a number of other people in the case. You send to the addresses that you have for them. What I am ordering is specifically with respect to Ms. Fuller and Ms. Fossback. I apologize, I might be saying that wrong. You're going to send that, any anything to their work address. It's not their personal address. So I'm going to have you, Ms. Salisbury, just so we're all clear, give me the work address. Mr. Waleed, please write this down if you don't have it.
Can I ask one question before you do that? My concern is with their Oregon Secretary of State registration, it has the members has a different address than the P.O. box that they have or the box that they have in Eugene. That's the only reason we sent it to the address is where the members of the LLC were before they were expired. That's the only reason we sent it to the members' address, because we never heard anything back.
Whatever address Ms. Salisbury is the attorney for the temporary guardians at this point, and so whatever address she gives, that's the address you're going to use, and if she's wrong about it, well, that's going to be their problem. That's not your problem. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Salisbury, what's the address you wanted to use?
Thank you, Your Honor. The address the whole time has been Oregon Advocates, and it's 1950 Franklin Boulevard, Franklin, box number 42, Eugene, Oregon, 97403.
97403?
Yes.
And if there is to be any type of personal service, will that go to you?
My firm can accept service on their behalf.
Okay, gotcha. That's what I meant to say. Thank you, Megan.
Okay.
Ms. Salisbury.
Yes, Mr. Waleed, we'll use last names, okay, sir? All right.
Yes.
Ms. Salisbury, I'm just checking in with you. We've addressed 3 issues. Did you have anything further today?
No, Your Honor, you've addressed all my issues. Thank you very much.
All right, Mr. Rudolph, did you have anything that needed to be addressed today?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Waleed, did you have anything else that needed to be addressed today?
Yes, it's the August the 27th, 9 a.m. court hearing. Where is that going to be located? Which courtroom?
It's going to be on the 16th floor. Courtroom C is in Charlie.
Okay, courtroom C. Will that have your name on it, Your Honor?
I don't know if it'll have my name on it yet, but it's courtroom 16C. That will be on there, and you'll be able to find me. If you have trouble, you can ask the security people downstairs, but we're at the Multnomah County downtown courthouse on 1st Avenue. Come up to the 16th floor,
okay.
Courtroom C. That's where we'll be, okay?
Sure.
All right, sounds like we've taken care of everything. I'm going to draft a minute order reflecting what we've discussed today, and it'll be an OECI for the attorneys to get if they like, and then will they send the copy to Mr. Waleed?
We can send a copy.
Okay, and Mr. Waleed will get a copy. Do they mail it or email it?
Let me.
We're going to see if we have your email address, Mr. Waleed, so that the order I draft today you get, okay? 1 second.
Yes, we have it. So
Yep. All right, we're going to email it to you. Sounds like we have it. So if you don't see something in 24 hours, then give the family law office a call. They'll get it to you, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Or the probate office. All right, thank you all for your time. Take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well done.